All right, today we're going to tackle something that I'm mildly scared of, but I think I've got enough information to get started with the tutorial. We're jumping right into Horizon, and the goal today is to show you how to bring in really large model packs, things that you might have. So again, we're jumping into Blender. A lot of importing right now because we're right in the beginning of our builds, so we need to bring in a lot of stuff, so that starts to make sense. Let me grab this. Come on, Blender. There you go. Boom. Nice. All right, so we got our Blender scene here. As always, I'm going to delete everything. Bye-ya. And in here, I do want to give this a quick name, which I'm going to rename the world and call this Importing House Scene Tutorial. There you go. And so the goal is to show you a few ways to optimize your world. That should just make sense. Let's start by showing you what house we bought for our build. So we're going to go File, Import, FBX, going into Downloads, going into our build, going into the house folder, and here's the house scene.fbx. Now, there's a couple things I really should tell you about house scene.fbx. Number one being that FBX was exported from a Unity project. So we had a Unity scene that we had purchased from the Vidyuu Assets store. Using the FBX exporter, we exported that. This tutorial today is not on that. If you want that tutorial, let me know. FBX exporter is free. Buying stuff on Unity is relatively easy. Together, it comes out like this. I will say, though, that these exports are very hard to work with, as you're about to see. So there's a lot of other websites like Fab that are much easier to just get an FBX file from and just bring it right into Horizon. So these ones are a little bit harder, but I'm going to show you how we work with them. So importing this FBX that came from our Unity scene, it's going to have a bunch of things in it we no longer need. Unfortunately, I have learned after quite a few repetitions on how to bring this stuff out, but here you can see the house. Now this does come with the shading like built into the FBX. We can adjust that in a minute. You can see a lot of these little dots. Those are kind of empty objects from the Unity scene. We'll be deleting some of that in a minute. And really what we want to do is be able to bring this in and make sure it always places at the same location. And we also want to reduce the draw calls, because right now, if we go to our statistics, let's go to statistics, we can see that there are 4,585 objects. Now that includes probably 50% of those are empties. So let's just go with the modest number of 2,000. 2,000 is way more than the recommended 200 limit of Horizon. So we got to get this down. Let's start with the exterior because that's the easiest. We've got a whole foliage pack right here. I'm going to expand this a little bit so you can see more of this scene. And so we can see our entire foliage. So what I do is I like to do it by set. So this whole decor plant section. Now that I've got them selected, I can go to Object and then go to Join. That's going to group them into one. Now this does not make them one draw call when you bring it into Horizon, so you need to tab into edit mode, then go to mesh and select merge by distance. This is going to merge them, which makes it really hard to work with them and move them around in Blender. It removes 0 vertices, which is totally fine, but it is now just a singular thing. If I open this up, these are the empty objects that were previously in there. I can just hit delete to get rid of them. And then I can continue on through like palm trees. So I'm going to do one more, and then after that I'm going to go do the rest as pause, and it'll just teleport to being done. Okay, so here we've got all of these, and we need to go back to object mode. Now I find if I select them before going to object mode, this join doesn't always work, so I don't know why, but still learning. Join did seem to work this time. Nope, didn't work, which I suppose is what I expected to happen. Let's try that one more time. I don't know why though. It seems like some sort of bug. So we'll go Object, Join. Now that those are joined, we can then tab back into edit mode and then mesh, merge by distance. All right, those have been merged. No vertices were removed. That's totally okay. If we open this up, we can see all those empties and we can delete them. Perfect. Now that that is done, I'm going to go ahead and hit pause and we'll snap my fingers. So all right, I'm just about done with the exterior. And I wanted to point out that if you tried to select these 4 because there's like groupings and stuff, weird stuff happening in here. Like if I wanted to merge these, let's go back to object mode and try that one more time. Selecting, going to object. The join button doesn't work, so you have to kind of like go into each of these groups. There's probably a way around that. Not a Blender expert, so just kind of ignoring it. Ideally, I probably would in some of these cases. There's things like the water that probably wouldn't be changed because I might want to animate them in horizon to go up and down and stuff. So like keeping these ones separate makes sense. There's also elements like the door that I'd want to animate. And so like that one I'll keep separate. And with that though, I do want to just actually, this took way more time off camera than I thought it was going to take, and I'm only halfway there. So I guess I will point out, like, there's a bunch of empties getting put here at the bottom, and I have to scroll to the bottom of this and then delete those. So highlight and delete key. And all of that's just because I'm importing this because it was an export from Unity. So there's just a lot of little things that are coming in from that Unity scene. Might be even ways to like mitigate that. But anyway, after a ton of time spending up cleaning this up, what you'll be left with, let me go open a project. Don't save this one. House scene version 1. All right, so this is one of our first house scenes. And here you can see it is coming along. We got some glass and all the things are set up. There's some ground. There's a little mountain in the background, like coming along. And if we go through here on the right, you can see there's a volcano, there's the beach, there's the interior stuff, there's the exterior stuff. Also did a lot of cleanup on the inside because there was props that we didn't want, like alcohol and some smoking props, and we just got rid of all of those things. And then anything that we wanted to animate, we got rid of as well because we don't want those to be static. This is basically the static scene. And so the goal is that we can bring this in, and every time we want to make a change to it, we can just bring in the new changed version. So like this is version 1, there is a version 2, so we could pop version 2 over and take a look at that. But let's go ahead and try this out. So there's a few other things we need to look at, which is all of the material types need to be set up correctly. And I haven't done that yet. So in volcano, that's fine. That's just volcano. This SP terrain should be called beach, or it's actually called sand 2. So I guess I'll call it sand 2. So we got volcano, which is using stone. So I guess we'll just use stone on that. That seems fine. And that's going to allow us to link it up to the textures relatively easily. So what I want to do at this stage is create a folder for uploading, like just so I can have everything in it. And we're going to downloads, going to my folder, going to the house folder, and I'm going to create, I already have one, here's a for import folder. And so I was creating this kind of document I can use. And I'm going to create a new folder in here called textures. So this is where I'm going to store all the textures. And we'll drag this one in. And I need to grab some of the other textures too. So let's right click, open a new tab. So I'll have the textures folder open here. And then this one, I can go back and find some of these textures. So I need to find stone and sand too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these actually come from a different pack we had purchased from. So that was from the hand-painted beach elements, sand, I believe. Let's find textures. And let's see, sand 2. There's rocks. Maybe it's not in here. Oh, they're TGA files. That might be throwing me off. Nope, that's all good. So it wasn't in this pack. Which pack would that have been in? Could it have been in the house pack? Let's see. Assets. Shared. Textures. We will need all of these in a minute, so I'm kind of tempted to leave that open, but I'll keep going. Where did I get this from? Sand 2. Show me where you're at. Sand 2 is inside of hand-painted beach elements, beach URP, tileable textures. Ah, I went to the wrong folder. It's tileable textures. So it was a hand-painted beach elements, beach, tileable textures, just right below it. There it is. Control C, Control V. And when we bring these in, they have to be named the same as they are here. So sand 2, so capital S, and then underscore BR. And that's what's going to link it up to this material name in Blender. Now moving on, we have our volcano, which is stone. And this one is not super particular because it's not finished, but just so we can see where it's at, we'll need to go grab that, which I believe I put in my downloads folder in a MetaBlocks 2 folder. MetaBlocks 2. I mean, it's been a minute since I worked on MetaBlocks, I guess, because of the competition, but why can't I see this? Oh, there it is, MetaBlocks Skybox. Go into for upload, uploaded, I'm looking for stone. Stone, 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 stone. Now, for reference, I don't actually plan to use this. Concrete would actually probably look pretty decent on that. But it's still getting skewed is the problem. Look, there's another sand option. The thing is that these ones, I don't know how well I own them. I would say I don't own them. So I don't really want to use this stone texture. This is just a temporary texture. We're planning to build one, probably using geometry nodes. Galactic's pretty incredible with that. So just as a temporary staying point, we'll use this stone. Okay, so stone underscore BR is now going to link that up. Continuing forward, we have this interior scene. Oh, I forgot some empties to delete here. I'll go ahead and get rid of those. So here it is, the scene. Oh, and you know what? I should have showed you the statistics to show you how much this cut down. So we went down from 5,000 objects to only 40 objects. Not bad. Not bad. All right, so on this scene, we can see that we have Atlas Props House Office A, which is connected to the diffuse color underscore texture. So Atlas House Props A, let's see if I can find that. That would be back in downloads, Slumber Party Models, House, Assets, go to Shared, Textures. All right. This was Atlas Props House Office A. There it is, metallic. Ooh, that's not what we want. I need House Office A. There it is. Okay, so Control C, Control V, and this is the real proper name for this. I'm going to go call this underscore BR, and I'm going to also select all of this, press Control C, and oh, it's already named that. Atlas Props House Office A. Perfect, that was easy. Next up, we'll go to the next module. And in here, we're just going to start with the door, I suppose. So we can see this is the door. It's got a lot of elements on it. So selecting the entire door, we can see these 3 different elements. It's weird because I don't feel like I see glass on this door, but something in here must, maybe it's the doorknob. Oh, it's this here, isn't it? So this glass is probably something we can actually see through, but it doesn't appear to be see-through. I can see I set the alpha to 50%. I can see I set it to alpha blend, but I just don't see anything through it. Now glass 01A doesn't have a texture because it's supposed to look like glass. And same with 01B, which means we're probably going to have to create it. So if we go up to textures, let's take a quick peek and see if there's anything like this. There's not. So in Blender, we go to texture paint. We create a new image, which we're going to not give a name because we don't need to here. 32, 32. It's just where I like to go. The default color of glass for me is going to be white for now. And press OK. Image, save as, and we'll put this in the for import textures folder. And we're just going to call this glass underscore BR. Press save as image. And I don't know how to differentiate between the 2 glasses, so I do want to have different names for them, so we'll go image, save as. I think I'm actually going to rename this one. Rename, and they called it Glass A, so we'll follow the same naming convention, Glass A, and then we'll name this one Glass B. Press save as image. So now we've got a Glass A and a Glass B. And we also need a Mesa file to make it transparent, so we need a new image, same thing here, but the color, we're going to use RGB, where red, green, blue, alpha correlates to MESA, which is metallic emission specular alpha, noting that if you use emission, you will override, don't use emission, I don't recommend it, but it is a cool look. So if you want it to be reflective and look shiny, use 100% metallic. If you want it to not show the edges, use 100% emission, because emission makes it glowy or unlit, more or less. but then that overrides the reflection, so you don't get any reflections. So I'm setting it to 0 because I just don't use emission. Specular, you want to set to 100%. If you set it to less than 100%, it gets shaded, so it's darker, like it looks like it's been colored by a shadow. And then alpha, we're going to set for our glass here to default at 0.25. I think that's a good starting point. We can always come back and adjust. Press OK, image, save as, and we're going to need both of these, glass A underscore mesa, as this is the mesa file, save as image, and image, save as, glass B underscore mesa, save as image. There we go. So now those two are ready to go. We'll go back to modeling and back to object mode. And here we can see that these are actually, it was 0, 1A, but we'll delete the 0, 1. So we got glass A, and this should be underscore transparent, so that Meta knows that it needs to be transparent. That'll allow it to look for the mesa file. And then this one is glass B underscore transparent. Okay. And then we've got Atlas props default, which I assume is going to be just like our previous one. Here's our Atlas props default, Control C, Control V. Ooh, it says it's already here. It is. Skip this file, so it's not going to do anything. And then I need to add underscore BR to the end of this one, underscore BR. Perfect. Continuing through, I think that covers the entire door. We can look and check. So we've got Atlas props default, we've got Atlas prop default, and the two transparent. So this door is now done. We can double check that we got this one. Yes, we did. So we can check this off as well. Now we got scene 68, which is using props default, which is done. So we're good there. Next up, we move on to this one, which has quite a few that we haven't looked at yet. We have Atlas props default. We have Atlas modules in 0, 1A. Let's go see if we can find that texture. Atlas modules in 0, 1A. There it is at the top. And Control C. Oh, interesting. It's got like a little wood texture. I just made a wood texture. I could have used this one. Huh. Good to know. Control V. So we got this, and it also needs to be underscore BR. I was wondering. Oh man, that's something to talk about later though. Okay, so we got this one, we got this one. Atlas props in-house office A. We did that one already. We've got glass 01C, another glass. I don't want to keep differentiating between all the glass, but we will. So this is glass C now. And we've got the glass A underscore transparent in here as well. So we'll go glass C underscore transparent. And I'm keeping these different rather than using the same texture in case at some point I need to differentiate between these in some sort of meaningful way to make them look better, whether it's the color of them, the amount of transparency, etc. Like perhaps this one needs to be more transparent, but then the windows need to be slightly tinted, like darker, so rather than white, we make them black, that sort of thing. Okay. So, and for windows, I mean like these ones in here, we could make them kind of, you know, a different color or whatever. Okay, so glass C transparent needs to be added. So we'll grab glass A and glass A, press Command C, Command V, and then rename this one to glass C, remove the copy at the end. There we go. And this end, same thing. C. Okay, so now glass C is done, and I'm going to be rolling through this for a minute, so I'll just pause there. All right, I just finished. I found a couple waters, got water 1 and water 2, where I made water 2 slightly brighter, so I had to create the colors. So if I select water 1, you can see that's darker because that's the ocean, and then water 2 is a little bit lighter. And then I duplicated the glass mesa file and renamed it water 1 mesa. So that would link up and have transparency. Might need to adjust the transparency of those to make them feel a little bit better, but so far so good. Now this is about ready to be imported. I did find a few empties that I deleted along the way, and we can now see that our statistics show 30 objects. It's not too bad. Ideally that would be 30 draw calls, but you also have to count every texture counts as a draw call, so that's going to add up. But yeah, here we go. For anyone wondering, this mountain and this beach scene were created using the Vidyuu terrain generator, and that was pretty cool. You can download that on the Vidyuu website under Tools. I have not really made a super public tutorial about it, but I guess if you're mildly curious and want to know more about how the Vidyuu terrain generator works, it's a project that I might implement into my next big project. Let's go, come on, to youtube.com/user. I don't know how to get to Lake05's account. It's not under the Vidyuu account. It's under the Lake05 account. So
welcome to...
Pause. Go to Lake05. And that's not Lake05. What the heck?
Welcome to Vidyuu Tutorials, where you are going to...
I really need to turn that off. Oh my goodness. Come on. Lake05. Click enter. You got this. That's not Lake05. That's not it. There's my channel. Lakes is live. There's the channel. So on this channel, you'll find this one called Late Night Coding. And in the first like 15 minutes, I show you how the terrain generator works. And then you can download that at vidyuu.com under drop down tools, terrain generator. There's a link to the download. Feel free to go check it out. Maybe I'll make a tutorial on it eventually, but I think I want to remake it into that VR 3D modeling tool I'm building next year. So we'll see. Okay. So next up, we've got this ready to go. I did notice one other thing that's off on the sand. I don't know when I messed this up, but I messed it up. I need to go to UV editing, and I need to adjust the UVs for the sand texture. So I'll drop down, select sand 2, scroll out, select linked geometry for the sand, then select all of these, then grabbing the white one I just learned, I need to scale in. And what I did earlier is I used 50, 50, 50. There we go. And now if I zoom in, that looks a little bit better on the beach for that. All right, Control Save. All right. And now that that is ready to go, we'll go back to Layout and File, Export, FBX. Crazy, I'm a little scared to do this, but I think we are ready for exporting this. So this is for import. This is House Scene version 1, FBX. Exporting FBX now. Okie doke. And now that that has been exported, theoretically, yeah, go ahead and hit save. We can import that with all these textures. So we'll go into Horizon, go into Asset Library, go to My Assets, go into our project folder, and I think I want to create a new folder in here. Add new folder and call this House Scenes. Create. Just to keep it organized a little bit better, jumping into House Scenes. Then we'll click Add New 3D Model. Preserving offset pivots is turned off. Choosing files on device. Going to Downloads. Going into House for import. Selecting the house scene. Pressing Open. Selecting more files. Going into Textures. Control A to select all of the textures. Press Open. And import. This one's going to take a minute. I'm going to pause the video there. All right, we can see it's just started loading. It's just appeared in here. And whew, I really enjoy the pause feature in OBS because it allows me to skip segments. So hopefully that's been helpful with this video. And it's nice because I don't have to do the video editing. I think that's kind of funny because I don't know, I haven't edited a video in a very long time. I actually canceled my Adobe Premiere subscription because it was costing like $60 a month, which is insane because that's like way more than I make in YouTube ad revenue. Let's just put it that way. So there was no justification for it, especially since now that I'm doing it this way, there was no need. But I've been learning like iMovie, Paint, and all the free tools now that I'm not using Adobe. It's fun. It's I'm not saying I wish I had done it sooner because I did need it professionally up until recently, but yeah, it's been fun to learn these new tools. Now let's check and see if it's back. We've got a warning. Did not find a material to be used with texture glass C. So it's saying that we had a texture file that wasn't used. Weird, because I could swear there was a glass C. We might find something somewhere that wasn't linked up. I kind of want to just quickly check Blender and see if glass C was mislabeled or something. Like maybe I misspelled glass or something. Open House Scene version 1. want to go and find glass, which I think was on the interior. Going through materials. Materials, that's not it. Glass C underscore transparent. I suppose it's possible that it just was never used, even though the material exists. Maybe it doesn't actually get used. That seems quite likely. Okay, here we go. We're going to pull the house scene out. This is where I'm really getting nervous. Loading asset. Here goes. Vertex count. 54,000. That doesn't seem too bad. All right, there it is. And it comes in as a giant group. So what I'm planning to do for our world is every time I bring this in, set it to 0, Control A 0, comma 0. And that should be the trick for making this. Got my Blender and Horizon controls all mixed up, so I'm like trying to remember how to move. Let's go pull out an environment gizmo so we can see this better. Let's go to environment gizmos, environment. There we are. And let's turn off the grid. And let's turn off the fog. 0. Nice. All right. So there we have it. There's our scene. This is the first time we brought this into Horizon. To say I am nervous is an understatement, okay? Let's jump into preview mode. World simulation on, why not? Here we are. Nice. Wait. What? What? The house is down lower. That's not right at all. I can't believe I made this sand, like this beach. I made this. Oh, there's the water. Okay. It's definitely the water needs to be a lot more solid. It is way too transparent, right? Like I can't even see it. And I think we're gonna have to fall off the edge to really experience the water. Okay, interesting. Escape, jump back over to the pool. I want to see how the pool looked. Preview from here. So the pool has a layer. Oh, it's solid. I need to turn off the collidability of the water. That would help. You can barely see it. So 0.25 was definitely too low for that. The glass windows over here, not bad, right? You can definitely see inside. It's weird. Oh, this one is supposed to be oh yeah, it is transparent. It's so weird how it's white inside. That seems very strange. I'm kind of thinking I leave and come back. It, to me, looks like the house portion didn't move when I adjusted everything to 0, 0. Because it's off in a couple places, right? Yeah. Let's go into the group and see. Here's the interior section. Because this is the piece that feels like it didn't move when I adjusted it. So we'll just eyeball this for now. And slide that up. Should go right about there, I imagine. And then slide that back over. And I think that's just about right. It's not perfect, but it's just about right. Oh, the white windows are causing the interior to look white? That seems strange. We're inside. It looks correct from the inside. Wow, that looks really good. I can't wait till we add the palm trees. So the next part of this, we're going to show you the palm tree scene, so scene version 2. The door, we made an animated door video, so that should be easy to animate. Not in this video, but you know. Oh, these ledges, wow, this is cool. The question in Horizon is always like, how much can I parkour? Nice, let's go. Running, running, running. Yeah, that's my jam. Cool, this is very neat. Very happy with this. Oh, it's like a little hidey hole here. That's kind of cool. Yep, so let's get outside again and see. Why is that white from the out? Oh! Is there some sort of separate model? Like, I forgot. It's not like one thing. It's probably not a two-sided thing. It's something. I don't know what it is. Interior, I don't know that I can select it because we merged everything, so you can see all the merged elements here. We've got all of this stuff. Yeah, there's a lot to this. Let's go to the exterior water. This needs to be, collidable needs to be turned off on this. So, oh, is this off by a hair? Can't really tell. Anyway, collidable off. And the pool water, collidable off. There we go. So now we should be able to jump in the pool. Let's see that. Boop. Yay, we're in the pool and you can actually see the water level. Like, obviously it needs to be much more solid than 0.25. But we should be able to do the same thing over here now that we can walk into it. It should feel a little bit more like water. It's just like my feet. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Splash, splash. This needs a splash effect. Oh, I'm so excited now that this is in Horizon. There's so much to do. Yeah, that window. I'm gonna have to look into that some more. Probably investigate in Blender some. But yeah. Now the question is, let's delete this. But what I want to do is place something in a very specific spot so we can see that it's working. For instance, let's get this guy placed inside here. Ideally, right in front of the door. So that it looks like you've just arrived in the house, right? Like you arrived at the door, just came in. Boom. There we go. And now the idea is that we delete the house scene. Okay. And then we pull it back into Horizon. And when it loads in, it selects the whole group. Let's put it somewhere. I don't see it. Oh, it's probably just rendering. There it goes. It takes a minute. And then ideally, we just change the... Oh, I wanted to see. Did this actually... Yeah, this came in at the right position this time. That's weird. So then if I go to 0, 0, 0, it does seem to have moved it correctly, except it misses one object or two. It misses objects for whatever reason. Like the mountain and the sand didn't move this time. So something's wrong with Horizon. But if we look at our position of our spawn point, oh no, is it not in position? It's not. Where's our spawn point? Our spawn point's down here. Wait, is the sand in the right position? And the house is not? Oh boy. Okay, so setting it to 0, 0, 0 is not working like I had hoped. Let's try this again. House scene, pull it in. I've got another theory. So that's now been brought in. If I let go of it and then select it again, or you let go one more time, now select it. Now move it to 0, 0, 0. I have one additional theory after this. Okay, so that's still not working. Most interestingly, it looks the same. I don't know why. Why? Okay, delete. We're going to try one more time. Okay. So this comes in, and where are you at? Right up here. There it is. Oh, it does have space in it. So it's being brought in incorrect as well. Wild. That is so wild, because we definitely had completely... Oh, and look at the house is completely off now. But the okay, so the house is in the right position now. So if we look at the... Well, the spawn point would be there if I set it to 0, 0, 0. But the rest of the house is in the wrong position. I think it might be because it's bringing in too much at the same time. So... unselect unparent child objects. Okay. And then I'm thinking, what if I select all of these? And then, oh, but look they're still in the wrong position. Never mind. I don't know what to do. This is just like Horizon being broken, so I'm not really sure. World simulation is on. Let's turn that off. Maybe leave and come back. Return to creation home. Like, let's come in with a fresh breath of fresh air here. So we're going to wait a minute. Okay, that should be long enough. Let's go in. Ugh, I hate when Horizon makes things hard. Like, bugs like this drive me actually bonkers. Because ideally you want to make it so simple that we can easily modify this in Blender and bring it right back. Like, quickly make updates. But as we're seeing, it is becoming a lot harder than that. So there's our spawn point. And house scene. There is another way to bring the house scene in that I haven't tried yet. So I'm going to try that first, even though I should just pull it out. If I double click on this, that should spring it into the world, I think. Does that not place? There it goes. Okay. So I've used the right click place, which of course doesn't place it at 0, 0, 0. What the heck? I would have expected it to place at 0, 0, 0. Why would it place anywhere other than 0, 0, 0? And once again, the position is off. Like, it's now making me think that it's mispositioned in Blender, but there's no way. Like, this has got to... What? Okay, I have the Blender scene open. We can literally look at this and see very clearly this is all positioned correctly. So what we can even do is go new general scene, don't save, because I didn't really change anything. Delete all of this, file, import, FBX. I got a sanity check real quick here. House scene version 1, import. Yeah, Blender saved it correctly. You can see everything is where it's supposed to be. This is just Horizon pooping on us. Horizon, don't poop on us. We don't like it. Give me a second to think. I'll be right back. Moment of humility, hopefully. I'm wondering, because of the way we're seeing this, now this doesn't make sense, but I'm just going to say it out loud. I'm wondering if my terrain is the problem, because it's what's not... It's what's not the same, right? Like, or maybe it's what's right? Like if I move this to 0, 0, 0, the terrain is obviously the one thing that's where it's supposed to be. The weirdest part to me is that it worked the first time, except for the house. Like, that's the part that's like, it can't be my terrain because the house was what was messed up the first time this was imported. So maybe I just delete this and try again without the glass C in it. Maybe it's happy if we do that again. Let's delete, add new 3D model, no preserving offset pivots. Maybe I should leave that on, but it doesn't work if it's multiple models, so that shouldn't have done anything. Control A, unselect glass C and glass C, press open, choose another file, up a folder, grab the scene, open, import. We'll wait. I am so beyond nervous. Okay, it should be just about done. Patience. Patience I must have. I don't even want to click on anything because I'm so worried. There it is. Okay, success. No errors this time. We're just going to right click, place. Like, what if it works just the first time? I have no idea. I'm so confused. All right, so it's been brought in. I'm going to press F to focus. There it is. We can then zoom in. And you know what? It looks like it's all positioned correctly this time. So perhaps it was the mislabeled texture. Let's try this, just for the sake of argument. 0, 0, 0. Oh yeah. I think we are talking now. Could it have possibly been the mislabeled thing? Even the spawn point's back in the right position. Well, I don't know what to tell you guys. If at first you don't succeed, try again. All right, let's go one more step further, and then we're gonna call it. So the plan is to bring in the version that has the palm trees. That is called version 2. And I have that in Blender, which Blender is still open. So here it is. We'll go File, Open, don't save, open house scene version 2, press open. All right, here it is with all of the palm trees. And looks like we've lost a couple textures, but that's totally fine. I do need to rename some of this stuff, so I want to have to group the palm trees as well. So give me some time to go through and do that. Okay, really quick note here. We have this foliage PNG, and you can see that it has transparency on it. And so we've labeled it foliage_BA, which is slightly different than BR. It means that the alpha channel is used for alpha. So B is for base color and roughness, which is your RGB. Or excuse me, B is for base color. R normally would be for roughness, which is in the alpha channel, but now we're using the alpha channel actually for alpha. And so in Blender, you'll notice it's named foliage_masked, and masking is where you cut out the fully transparent pieces. You don't want to use this for partial or like transparency. This is just for things that can be cookie cutter cut, like these textures. And so, yeah, foliage_BA will link up to foliage_masked. Okay, I'm realizing that props and rocks are both TGA files, and you would have seen this in a recent video if you've watched all of them, which is totally reasonable if you haven't, because there's too many of them. But if we go and open up the image, so click open, I need to go find that folder. So just above this folder, go into hand painted, textures. We have props. We'll start with props, press open image. So these are some props. I need to resave this as a PNG. So I click save as, change it from Targa to PNG. We're going to put that in the same folder from before, so the for import textures folder. This is going to be, of course, capitalized because I like capitals, and then _BR, so props_BR, and save as image. And this one does, it almost looks like it's supposed to be masked, but it's really clearly not, so I think it's good. And then we got one more to do. So image, open, rocks. So go to that same textures folder, find rocks. I don't know the difference between bake and albedo, to be honest. I think we'll just open up the bake and see if it looks right. Open image. No, definitely not. Image, open, albedo. Okay, I'm not sure what albedo means as a word. I should Google it and get a definition, but apparently it looks like the right one. So we'll go and say image, save as, switch oh, it is in PNG. Whatever. This is still a good way to save it to our textures folder anyway. So we got rocks _BR, save as image. There we go. And then I'll go back to layout view. You can see rocks will now link up to the rocks_BR, props will link up to props_BR, and that is good to go. Let me keep rolling, and I think I'm almost done. Actually, am I done? Yeah, palm tree's already done. This, oh no, I gotta go through these real quick. BRB. Okay, we are back. So just to recap, if you weren't following that last bit there, we had two versions already created. We had version 1, and then we'd worked on it some more and had version 2. I hadn't done the naming yet in version 1 or 2, so I had to go and do that. When we did it the first time in version 1, it didn't apply to version 2 because there were two separate files. So I just finished doing that all again. So we got our water 1_transparent, but as I was thinking to water, I remembered that we wanted to change some of the transparency on these. And so let's go to, let's see, texture paint, create a new image. This is going to be a 32 by 32, selecting color. Remember that this is for Mesa, so 100% metallic, 0% emission, 100% specular, and our alpha at 25% was not nearly enough. I'm thinking about 50% for the beach, like for the ocean, excuse me, for the pool water. Press OK. Image, save as, and this is going to replace water 2 was the one for the pool. I can this replaces water 2 Mesa, excuse me. Press save as image to overwrite, and then we'll go and do that again. Image, new image, and then all we need to do is change the alpha. And for the ocean, I want it to be really thick, like 0.75. I think will be better. And we'll press OK. And we'll say image, save as, water 1_Mesa, save as image. And there was one of the glass that was really bright. So if we go back to modeling, I just don't know how to figure out which one that is. I'm thinking if we went into, we're in edit mode, click L to select linked geometry. Now that's selected the background. I don't know how to select this thing. It would be in the interior. That's exterior, interior. Press L, not there. Interior lamps, modules, props. Definitely not lamps. Modules, room, press L. Nope, didn't select anything. Yeah, so it's definitely selecting the ground below it, but not the... I guess if we just work through this, we might be able to figure it out. Because it does highlight when I select it. So that's highlighted. Selecting this one, not highlighted. So it's probably in this one. If I go into this one, this is a empty object, isn't it? Oh, I got rid of all this. Delete. Oh, I need to go back to object mode maybe. And hit delete. Okay. So this scene has glass A transparent and glass C transparent. What we know about glass A is that glass A is real, because glass C we know is not real. So assuming that these windows, but those could be the interior windows too. It is very strange, right? It could be the interior side of those windows. Let's see if we just adjust this. Right here we have the alpha adjustment. Change it to 0.25. We can see that that changed on the outside for sure. Did it change the inside as well? 0.5. It seems to... Oh, but I have... let's switch back to this mode. Oh, but that one doesn't preview it. Because I wanted to turn on backface... Oh, backface culling is on. But it'll only work from one side. See, there's two renders. Oh, you can see one is blue. This one is tinted blue. How interesting. So maybe what we're seeing on this glass specifically is it's got a texture applied to it, and the other one doesn't. How interesting, because that's so interesting. I don't know how that's working then. I'm perplexed by this, to say the least. I don't know where my thing went. Oh, it's at the top of this, isn't it? Glass A, glass C. Glass C we can see is blue. Remember, glass C didn't connect to the glass C transparency images. We can very clearly see here that this one is the color blue that we are seeing here. So if I change this to 0.25, go back to this mode, are we seeing a change? 0.1? We totally are. We really are. Okay, so what this demonstrates, and so you have to kind of understand that Blender in this preview mode doesn't support backface culling. So we're actually seeing it from both sides. But what we can determine is glass C is definitely being used, and it is applying some color. And I think... I don't understand why those textures weren't linking up. Is there something wrong in the spelling here? I mean, it would have had to been the other file. Glass seems transparent. It looks good. But then we would have had an error. Like, so the error we got said that there was no available thing for the texture to be applied to. If there was a missing texture, it would also report that error too, and it didn't. It did not report a missing texture. So that's curious. I don't think changing the color of this will do anything. I just think that, I don't know why, I don't even know why it's actually transparent. Like, it seems bizarre that you can even see through it when it's in horizon. Like, this stuff shouldn't apply. I'm kind of thinking let's just change it to a bright white. Like 100%, all the way brightest of whites. And then hope for the best. That it doesn't look as strange. Maybe drop it to 0.25 here. None of this is supposed to matter. Literally none of this is supposed to matter. It's supposed to entirely revolve around the name of this. So, not sure. Oh wait, backface culling. Hold up. Inside. Turn it off. Ah, look at that. Okay. Okay, yeah. So we can see that it is definitely only rendering it from the outside. I didn't know Blender had an option to use backface culling. That's awesome. So we switch to glass A. Glass A, we can turn that on as well. Boop. Now we're seeing it only from one side. Brilliant. And we can turn that off and on. Oh, that's interesting too. and on, off and on. Interesting. Okay. That's really good to know. Like, that is really good to know about that feature. Again, I am once again perplexed. Might need to talk to the experts on our team to get some more information about how this works. This says display number of users of this data. Click to make a single user copy. This one, fake user. Save this data block even if it has no users. That's an interesting idea. We're not going to click any of that. I see. So this doesn't have any users, whereas we can see the rest of these. Oh, except for this one doesn't have any users either. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Why is this one having an effect if it has no users? Very perplexed. I'm almost thinking, let's check this box. I've never checked this box before. I have no idea what that's going to do. But maybe that'll let us link up the Glass C texture, and maybe it'll work better. I don't know. We're just going to try a few things there. Control save. This is looking good. Next up, we need to bring this into Horizon, but I actually already deleted Glass C. So I'm going to go grab two Glass A's, Control C, Control V, rename them as Glass C. Okay, and this one will be Glass C as well. Super duper perplexed, but hopefully this will work. Right. File, export, FBX, house scene for import, version number 2, and export FBX. All right, that should have worked. Now we can come over here, add new 3D model, no pivots, selecting house scene version 2, selecting the textures, Control A, open, pressing import, and waiting patiently. Okay, that's interesting. We have a little, do not find a material to be used with B, B, or C and C. Okay, so that checkbox did absolutely nothing for us. I am a little nervous to pull this out with these warnings based off what happened last time, but just in case it works, I think what we're going to do is just turn off the visibility of this and collidability of this, just for now. Lock it. That way it's here. We can kind of compare and contrast. And then house scene version 2, we want to let go, right click, place. We're going to do this sort of placement. Feels safer. It shouldn't be any different, but after all this, it feels safer. Okay, we're giving this a second to load in. Don't see anything yet. There it is. And it looks like the... Well, I mean, if this is texture related, that is the most interesting bug, but at least it's reproducible. Like, where's the, there's a bug report button. Let me fill one out real quick. All right, don't need a track. So, submitted, did that. Let's go try this again. So, I guess we can just quickly see what got displaced, 0, 0, 0. And it appears that it was just this big section to the left got moved over. All right, let's go. Like, I feel like theoretically, if I have the previous one in here, I could match it up by just like copying the location, but there's new groups. So if like one of the new groups got messed up, so we got to do this right. Now, unfortunately, that means I gotta remove this. Hopefully that doesn't mess Meta up. But then we're gonna go and import another one. I guess it's saved in my recently deleted folder. And they should have access to all that stuff. Okay, so we're importing a model. We want everything, but I think it was C and D. Oh boy. We're gonna go use that deleted assets folder now. Deleted assets, house scene, it was C and B. Okay, good thing I checked. All right, add new, 3D model, no preserving, choose files, everything but C and B. Control A, Control, 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 Control. Okay, C and B are removed, and open those, and then add the house scene version 2, open, and import. All right, give that another minute. That took so much longer than usual, but we're here. There's version 2. It's no longer any errors. Right click, place. Okay, moment of truth. Here we go. I'm really hoping that this is the thing. It's like warnings were the problem. I'm really hopeful. That is what it is. Come on out. Come on out. Show me a good looking model, please. Maybe. Maybe. Hello there. Oh, you're way over there. That's different. Does look like it is together though, so that's good news. Moving it to 0, 0, 0. Turn it back around. Everything looks good. Okay. Oh no. Nope. Oh wait, no, I think that's actually, that's correct. Those aren't supposed to be there, but they are there in Blender. Because Galactic's been building this, and yeah, there they are. And so she's got some in the sky that she was duplicating to place around the world. That's okay. That's okay. That's so funny. I'm like, oh no, no. Totally freaked out for nothing there for a second. Okay, so far looks good. Yeah, let's see if I unlock this one. This is going to get flickery for a second, so flicker warning here. I'm going to turn visibility on. Wait, what? Those do not look like they are correctly aligned. That stinks. Man, that stinks. It's very close. It's very close. I was worried about this, but I didn't think I'd have to worry about it today. Oh, I didn't think I'd have to worry about this today. Okay, so what's happened most likely is there is something new that is higher up in the scene or lower in the scene, which created a bounding box for version 2 that is slightly larger than the bounding box for version 1. I don't, like, this could be one of those things that Galactic has in the air, but it doesn't seem like it's those because they're lower than the mountain. So it could be something below the world. I don't see anything below the world. It could be something else we changed. Like, this is going to happen. If you can stay within the bounds of a giant plane, like our ocean plane here, you're going to be doing a lot better. But you could also have, like, a plane that goes up and down just to try to prevent this. In this case, though, and I think what we're going to end up doing probably pretty regularly, the idea of having a plane that goes up and down is really not a bad idea. Just have, like, an intersection plane that you delete once you get it into Horizon. Like, if you took this water plane and duplicated it. We might do that in the future for our proper build, but like you could duplicate this, rotate it sideways so it's always this giant area to stay within. Anyway, I'm going to hit Control Save. I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to do what I think is the best solution for now, and that is to select Scene 2 and slide it down, the whole thing. So we're going to slide that until it lines up. It's almost perfectly in line. At this point, what I would do is note that it's on the y-axis that we're having this issue. So if I get right around here, we can, nice and low, slide that down. Ooh, man, that is just a hair off. Okay, so I believe it's just the y. So right here on the y value of Scene 2, it needs to go up just slightly. So minus 9.33. That didn't change much. Minus 9.5. Not saying, oh, I did say change there. Minus 9. I need to go up, and I was going down because the larger is negative. It was a negative larger. Minus 8.5. Oh, that feels almost perfect. I don't think I can even see the overlap there. Or is it just really far above us? No, I think it's perfectly aligned with itself. Let's go and turn off visibility of Scene 1. Oh, we're off by just a hair on another axis. Yeah, I don't know. This is like, you're going to have to manually line it up. This is going to be a pain. I hope the rotation's right. That rotation looks off. I mean, it's very possible Galactic might have accidentally edged the rotation just slightly. let's go to the edge of this square. This is a square. The water is less square. Yeah, that's weird. Because if I run over here, it's not the same distance. So it's slightly ajar on the rotation. Scene 1 is not rotated. Scene 2 is not rotated. Okay, well, we're just going to try to get it as close as we can. I'm really not sure what the right solution is. If anyone's figured out a better solution to this, I would love to hear about it. Okay, getting nice and low. Is this a height discrepancy as well? It's hard to tell if that is or not. But it's definitely off on this axis, which I don't know which axis that is, so we'll go to house scene 2, and we'll just try 1 or 2. So we'll try this one going to... Oh wait, these are supposed to be at 0. It's supposed to be just a height adjustment. 0. Wait, what? Seriously? Okay, and then it's just slightly off on the height again. You can just see that height difference right there. Okay, that was just zeroing it out. That wasn't that hard. Never mind, this is getting better. And I've zoomed in really far. I'm trying to get this to flicker so it's like exactly in the same position. So it's too high, which means it needs to go, this number needs to go larger to go down. It's confusing, but 8.55, that was too much. Minus 8.51, too much. Minus 8.505, closer. Minus 8.053, too high. 4. That's like as perfect as it's going to get. If I zoom out, flicker warning. We actually haven't had any flickering yet, just for reference, but just being careful, because we should be seeing flickering. Yeah, there it's starting to flicker now. And that is because we have everything perfectly overlapped, which means we can now delete scene 1. Now going into scene 2, that should, the lighting should correct in a second. We can see that the spawn point's in the correct spot. Does feel like it's a little high there. I think that's the deletion happening. Still taking a second to render the deletion. Okay. That spawn point feels a little high. Like I think it is. Yeah, I'd be curious once we have a lot more interactive assets how this is going to go. Ideally, you want to be able to swap this, but hopefully we'll just get done with it sooner than later so we don't have to do too much swapping to be able to swap it out. But I don't know. There should be a better way of doing this, but I don't know what that would be. Letting go, previewing. Here we are in the house. Everything looks good, so we can see the new glass. I don't know that we changed really anything in the glass. We didn't change the properties of the materials. It's really the exterior glass that we're curious about. So let's go find focus. It spawns me so far away. And I did forget to turn off collidability of the waters. So we'll select both of those, turning collidable off. And we can turn off reflect light and shadow. That seems fine. Right click, preview from here. All right, so we can see the ocean or the pool water is definitely more solid, but I also want it to be more clear. So you can see that it is pretty clear. I would probably personally, selecting pool water, press F to focus. Why don't I see anything? Are we just super far away? What's happening? What? How do you think that's, how did you think that's what pool water was? Anyway, right click, unlink instance root. We can then select pool water, pressing Control D to duplicate. We can then slide that down, although it does look like our slide tools have disappeared. Oh, there they are. That's very strange. And we can create a couple layers of water, and then Control D one more time, sliding down. So now we should have 3 layers of water. Let's right click on preview. So you can see like 1. I see only 2 layers. You'd have to play with this a little bit. When we're done building water, I'll show you how we were able to do it when this world is done, but this is so dumb. Like what? But yeah. see. There's one. This one's just, is it not far enough down? It's moving too violently. I wonder if I adjust my my speed, my flying speed, if that'll change how fast this moves. Doesn't appear to have. Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's definitely the right approach, I think, to have a few different layers. And then you can do the same thing with the ocean. I just don't see the other one. I'm not sure why. Well, anyway, there's supposed to be 3 layers there. Let's go take a look at that ocean. Looks a lot darker, a lot more like ocean. It needs some motion, of course. And I would like it to get deeper faster, so I'm going to need to work with the terrain a little bit. But yeah, adding a little splashing on this would be fun. Definitely feels a lot more like you're in the ocean. Here we are in the deeper section. Very nice. Cool. Okay. I am a little worried about this mountain, to be honest, because it's got so many jagged edges. I have a feeling it'll be quite possible to get stuck inside of this. Not sure how I'm going to address that at this time. It's my first time walking on my own terrain. How cool. I mean, technically Murder Manor used the terrain generator as well, but oh, this is neat. This is like, that one was mostly just Perlin noise, which is just math, but this one I actually hand like carved, so to speak. Like I really went to town. Like individual points I modified and whatnot. It's supposed to be a volcano, so if we look from the top, I know this video's just gotten to be outrageously long, but if you look from the top, you can really see it's a volcano. Preview from here. This is what I don't want players going into, because, oh my god. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Okay, I might have to leave that in intentionally, so you can like slip down below the world. Oh my gosh, that is actually kind of like a fun hiding space. If we doubled the geometry, you wouldn't be able to get out, but secret volcano cave? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Okay. But yeah, so the new scene is in focus, and you can see that the new scene has, this is so slow to move, has all the palm trees and stuff. I never even like got to show off these cool hand-painted palm trees. You might have seen them in the other, oh no, other tutorial. Did they get messed up somehow? Am I tripping? Preview. They are fine. What the heck? There's definitely some missing geometry on those trees. I think when I merged them together, maybe parts of them got clipped. Because I merged all the trees so that they would take up less draw calls. Okay, I still have a lot to learn in Blender, guys. We did do the leaves as well. We did these leaves just like the trees. Those ones look fine. I don't know. It seems like every tree has this. I have a feeling something went wrong. Maybe in... I'll have to go back and look. Oh, wow. Some of these are way worse. Whoa. These are so bad. I'm not sure why. And that is why Blender is hard. Okay. Cool beans. Alright, I will catch you guys later. I think that's where we're going to end this tutorial on importing house scenes. I hope that was useful. I know there's a lot to it, but it's a hard task. It's a hard task. And we're not done, obviously. That still has a lot of work left. So, alrighty. Bye for now.